Potent Rockster presents Couple Day Late Review. We're going to be reviewing a movie for you here tonight. Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. Movie about giant monsters fighting giant robots. And in my opinion, it was fucking amazing.
And the cat's being a distraction.
He's never a distraction. Ridiculous.
A film released Friday the 12th of July, 2013, and here we are reviewing it the 17th.
Starring quite a few people. I knew very few of them. I knew one guy from Torchwood and the other from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep, Charlie Day is in the movie as the crazy wacky scientist. Ron Perlman's in the movie. He's for a little bit.
I forgot he was in that.
He's a pretty cool character. And then you got Idris Elba, who is the main general, what do they call him, the marshal. And yeah, he's the one that says the canceling the apocalypse line. If you see the trailers, it's all over the trailers.
It's the Independence Day, like, speech they give. It's the Pacific Rim version of the Independence Day speech.
Except because the film was made by Guillermo del Toro, it does not take place in the United States. It takes place for the majority of the movie, mostly in Hong Kong specifically.
I have to say, out of all the people in this movie, I really liked Rinko Kikuchi. I believe I said that right.
Oh, yeah.
She plays the main character Mako. She's the
One
other
of the
pilot.
main Jaeger pilots, and Jaeger is a term that now you'll have to come to terms with because that's what the big giant robots are.
It's not just alcohol anymore. Now, I have to say, ever since I was a little wee boy and growing up on Godzilla movies, I've always wanted a current day giant monster movie. We had Godzilla 2000, but that was pretty terrible. And also, whenever I was a little kid, I remember watching a movie called Robot Jox, and not a lot of people have seen it. Those who have are in the same boat. It's an amazingly bad movie. Giant robots fighting each other for natural resources. But it's Godzilla and Robot Jox mixed together to make one of my favorite movies of all time right now.
It's very much a unique idea. All of the creatures in this film, all the robots in this film are just uniquely designed. They each have their own characteristics. It's definitely something you get from Guillermo del Toro when he makes a movie. It's very, very personalized and individual. Pan's Labyrinth, good movie.
Also in this movie, Charlie Hunnam. He plays the main character, a Jaeger pilot who at the beginning of the movie stops being a pilot for reasons. I'm not going to go into it. If you want to find out, go watch the movie. This movie has one of the best opening sequences leading up to the credit, like the opening.
Yeah, before the title
scroll.
sequence, it was already nerd boner.
It was amazing. I was squeeing all over the place, and yes, I'm going to use that word. The two doctors of the movie,
Played by Charlie Day and Bern Gorman,
had their own little side stories, which were in their own right pretty goddamn funny.
and mildly important to the plot.
Yeah, like they were the two scientists, the big guys who had all the ideas. Charlie Day was...
You don't want to give too much away.
Well, he was the kaiju expert.
What they call them the kaiju groupie.
Kaiju groupie. And then Bern Gorman was the mathematician.
Well, he was like, oh, I'm calculating how long these kaiju are spawning, and then I'm going to take it and, oh, look, they're going to come up, the next one's going to be at this time.
Super smart character. They had a really cool dynamic whenever they were on screen together, because one of them is very laid back and one of them is, of course, very upright.
And I think both of them are capable of doing that. Like you see the Bern Gorman in Torchwood, he has that group dynamic when he's working with the other members of the cast there. And Charlie Day, when he's on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he's working with other people too.
I might add, it's Charlie Day as a scientist. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, if you've ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he does not appear to be anywhere near an intelligent character. He gets to play one in this movie. So, first thoughts on the movie: giant monsters, giant robots, awesome. I love the movie for that reason. The entire cinematography of it, Guillermo del Toro wrote the screenplay along with another gentleman, but we don't give him as much credit because his name's not Guillermo del Toro.
My opening statements when going into this movie is, it's a giant monster movie against giant robots. It is the epitome of cool in my book. I've been waiting for this since I was 10. Going into the movie and actually watching it, it is my favorite movie of all time right now. I cannot say bad things about this movie because I really had nothing negative to say about it.
It's hard to not just smile through the entire thing, just with nerd joy, just
Ron Perlman showing up was just amazing. I had forgotten he was in the movie, and then he shows up in
They
it.
show him in a trailer, and you're like, oh, that's Ron Perlman. When he was on it, the screen was his.
He was Ron Perlman.
And so that's basically all we have to say about Pacific Rim. Thanks for watching this couple day late review. Next week we'll be watching R.I.P.D., or planning to watch it. It won't be until after it comes out, so a couple days late.
I actually want to add the
That's
reasoning behind the couple days late,
Oh, that's fine.
so we can put it elsewhere in the video. Well, we're a team, man.
You're making me do it! Okay.
Since you're here, I bet you're wondering why we do a couple days late video. It's because we're not a fan of other people in the movie theater. We tend to hate people. So we tend to go a couple days late during the matinees when there's like 2 to 3 people in there.
Well, prime example today, we went to a 4 o'clock showing. There was a dad and his son sitting right in front of us who decided the son was going to talk through all of the trailers. And I was really hoping that he wasn't going to do it during the movie. Thankfully, he did not talk very much during the movie. I still kicked his seat. I'm not sorry.